Immaculate Mary, your praises we sing. You reign now with Jesus, our Savior and King.
So the Legion of Mary didn't start off as a very worldwide organization. It's interesting whenever you look to find out how many people are in the Legion. Some estimates say there's as many as 6 million active members worldwide. I don't think it's quite that high, but you're probably talking close to 1 million members worldwide. It just started off as a very simple group gathering together in a church, and people wanted to live out their Marian consecrations to St. Louis Marie de Montfort. So Frank Duff is the founder of the group, and he made a 33-day consecration along with several other people in his parish, and they wanted to get together and start the Legion of Mary. So the day that it started was September 7th, which they just kind of picked that day at random, but later on they realized how important it was because the following day is September 8th, which is the Nativity of Our Lady. So the whole scheme of the Legion of Mary is Mary being created all over again, Mary being born all over again. So Frank Duff later on said some of the opening words in our handbook that describe what you have to do to be in the Legion of Mary and the processes. Say that evening came and morning followed the first day. So it's like Mary is being reincarnated through us, which is what we're called to do in the total consecration. We're called to live as Marian models, as icons, as molds, to just be as perfect as she was or try our best because we can never equal the holiness of Our Lady. So it started off in simple beginnings, and then they did work with hospitals. The Association of Our Lady of Mercy was the name of the first group of the Legion because they worked with the Mercy Sisters. And in 1925, there was a Eucharistic Congress that was held in Dublin, Ireland. And there was a lot of excitement about Catholic action, about the laity getting involved. And a number of bishops and cardinals came from all over the world to this Eucharistic Congress. And once that happened, a lot of people saw the model of the Legion of Mary and they really wanted to expand on it. Some of the highlights that have happened throughout the Legion of Mary, in Dublin, Ireland, kind of like the first major work that the Legion did, they actually went to the red light district in Dublin and they converted many women of ill repute. As you can imagine, most women in Ireland at that time were Catholic. They did what they could to bring them back into the church, and actually many of these women became active legionaries. Frank Duff himself never got married, but he had a very big impact on converting these women back to the one true church. And even though he never got married, he was a groomsman in many of their weddings. So another big thing that happened in the Legion was it expanded throughout the world. Some of the more heroic actions that happened were Adele Quinn, who was up for beatification. She started the Legion of Mary, thousands of groups in Africa, even though she had tuberculosis, and she died, I think, around 6 years after she went to Africa. It was amazing and miraculous what she was able to accomplish. Alphonsus Lamb went to South America. Again, he died a very young death and started thousands of groups all over all over South America, just giving his life up to Our Lady. And another one that's very inspiring is how the Legion of Mary took off in China. A priest, Father Aidan McGrath, was a Columban priest, and he was a missionary, and he was not given any more priests or nuns. And what happened was his bishop gave him a handbook of the Legion of Mary and said, if you need help, start the Legion of Mary. And what happened was truly miraculous. In 1 year, he started 1,000 groups of the Legion of Mary. So we're talking about 10 to 20 members per group. And then in 2 years, there were 2,000 groups. And the reason why the bishop knew that the Legion of Mary was so important was because he knew the communists were taking over. This was right before the communists took over the country. And he realized that all the foreign priests would be exiled, the church would be heavily persecuted, and the way to keep the church going was through the Legion of Mary. The catechisms could still happen, people could still be trained to receive the sacraments whenever the church came back, and the underground church would be continuing to do what it could. And the Legion was a big part of that. The Legion was also very heavily persecuted. And again, we don't know the exact number of martyrs that happened in China as a result of their Legion membership, but it's estimated between 6,000 and 60,000 active legionaries were martyred due to their faith and due to their commitment to the Legion of Mary. So hopefully we're seeing all sorts of different persecutions all over the world, a lot of anti-Catholic spirit that's been coming up. We have to not shy away from that. We have to fight. We have to be a part of Mary's Legion, Mary's army, and really hope to bring as many souls into the one true church that we can. And so that's a little bit of the history of the Legion of Mary, and hopefully we at St. Benedict's and the United States of America will continue to do great things through the Legion and be a part of the history that's continuing to go on.